Hey guys, welcome back to my booktube. Welcome back to my channel. If this is the first video you're watching, welcome to my channel. I am back. You guys know that whenever you see this face, I got some reviews for you. I'm actually going to be recording 3 reviews today. I read 2 books and I really want to share my opinion on them, and then I'm also going to record another book that was actually sent to me. Well, someone asked me to review their book, so I got it, and then I'm going to talk about that in another video. I hope that you guys have been doing well. I hope that you have been reading. I have, which is why I'm here with another book review. Okay, the book of the day, the book of this video is none other than, this is gonna be backwards, so bear with me, Ties That Tether. Ties That Tether. Dare you to say that 10 times fast. Ties that, I can't even do it. I'm not even gonna try. Ties That Tether. It's backward. I have to use my front camera, sorry. Okay, this book, you guys, I like it. I'm rocking with it. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna give you like a quick synopsis of the book. I'm gonna give you like major themes that the book talked about, and then I'm gonna give you like my likes and dislikes about this book, without trying to give you too much, because it's like not like too small, not like too large. It's like a good read, but I feel like I sped through it because it's just so juicy. Okay. All right. So on the cover, this is Azere. I hope I'm saying it right. Azere. It's Nigerian. So if you're Nigerian and I'm saying it wrong, please let me know in the comments. Azere. I don't know. I was saying Azere while I was reading it. So Azere, she's on the cover. Her dad passes away in Nigeria when she's pretty young, and he makes her promise him on his deathbed, that she will marry a Nigerian man and just keep their culture going, right? And she was super young. She was like, you know what? I will preserve this culture. I will grant you this wish. And so that's what she did. So her dad passes away in the, like, I don't know if it's just Nigerian or like African culture in general. The husband's brother or brothers takes care of like the family, right? So her uncle, which is the dad's brother, migrates to Canada, and then he brings her, Azere, her sister, and her mother with them, right? So he takes the family to Canada. That's where she like grew up, and like as she's growing older and like becoming like a woman, her mother's sole purpose is to try to like get her to marry a Nigerian man, and her mother's like setting her up on all of these dates, and obviously she like hates them all, and honestly, like, her life takes a different turn than she would have expected in this book. Now, I'm gonna just let y'all zoom in on Azare's sunglasses right here. See that? Peep that? Let's just say the eyes tell it all. Yes, she like meets up with this white man and like obviously has to hide it from her mother. Obviously there's a whole bunch of drama. I can't even tell you like anything, because then it'll just ruin like all the surprises in the book. But let's just say her life takes a completely different turn from, number one, the promise that she made her father when on his deathbed, takes a completely different turn than what her mother has intended for her. And throughout the book, you just get to go along with her on this journey to see, number one, what happens with mystery guy in the sunglasses. See like if she actually does uphold this promise that she made to her father, and see if she like goes along with like one of the guys that her mother sets up for her, or if she decides to, you know, follow her own path in life. And that's your summary right there. I truly don't want to ruin it for you, okay? That's what I'm gonna say. Some of the themes that were like touched on in this book, that I kind of related to, was that it's like what it feels like to be like, what it feels like to migrate to a different country and then like have to kind of join the new culture of the country, but also like maintain your own like culture without like completely just being a whole new person. I think it's different for different immigrants. So like for example, like a Caribbean person like myself coming to New York isn't like a total like whoa, like what's going on here, because like you come to Flatbush, it's like you in the Caribbean. Might be different for like Nigerians going to Canada. So yeah, that was a big theme that was touched on there, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to that, especially if you're not even like what's it called, first generation is like not you migrated but your parents migrated. I feel like even as a first generation immigrant you might be able to relate to those things. Another major theme is like your parents' expectation of your life versus your own. Everyone can relate to this, I feel like, because most people's parents try to like, you know, put their little 2 cents in. You should do this, you should date this person, you should be this kind of person, this, that, and the third. If you have not experienced that like from your own parents, good for you. I feel like I didn't really experience that a lot, but I know that there are quite a few people, especially like African people of African descent, or Asian descent, or even like East Indian, or just Indian in general, like those like Pakistani, those types of people. Like their parents have a lot of like influence on like what they study in school, what they do with their lives, how they dress, who they marry. So if you are that type of person, this book will, that you will like resonate with this book 100%. Or this book will resonate with you 100%. And then another big theme is Nigerian pride. The mother and I guess like the uncle, and even Azare too, like she truly like loved being like Nigerian, and like her mother, whoo, that lady, she was like, listen, you are not gonna tarnish the Nigerian like culture that we have going on. This is what you need to do. She was like, if you don't do this, I'm gonna disown you. She like did disown her in the book. I'm giving away too much, but like the pride that they had is something that like if your family is like that, you're gonna be like, sheesh, like this is 100% like true. So those are like the 3 big themes that this book talked about, and like it like most of it is like super relatable. If y'all hearing random noises, I'm living in a building, so I can't control like everything that's going on. But yeah, I don't know what that was. Okay, my likes. This book, drama, okay? It's just so intriguing. The first like 50 or 60 pages, you're gonna be like trying to like get like, what's gonna happen? What's going on? It's such a good, quick, light, interesting read. Like you wanna know what's gonna happen next. You will stay up or like, okay, let me tell you how interesting this book is. I was reading and walking. I was walking to work and reading. Like, is that not like crazy? I don't think I've ever like read and like actively been walking. Like maybe I'll have my book, and then if I'm like waiting on something, I'll be like, oh yeah, let me read a couple. But walking and reading is kind of nuts. And that's like, I was like, yo, I need to know what happens. So yeah, you might think differently when you read it, but I think so. The mother was hilarious. Like she would just say things that like it was actually crazy how she was like talking to her child at some points, but it's also funny because it's like, oh, like this is such a thing like a mother would say. So I thought that the mom was very hilarious. In the book, there are quite a few references to like movies and shows, which like Isaiah kind of like ties in to like her own life or like fantasies that she would have, because she was like kind of like a hopeless romantic, and so like she would reference movies that like she loved and like things that she could see that was happening in her own life. So those were good, because if you know the movies, then you're like, oh wow, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Like I said before, it is very, very relatable for you if you are an immigrant, because like I said, it talks about like just that, like, do I completely give up my first culture? Do I do like, how do I do like half and half? Should I just completely adopt this one? What will the people from my other culture say? Like, there's a lot of like that going on in your brain. So I mean, and I like that because it was relatable for me. And like I said, super easy read. They're like about 300 pages, but you'll speed through it, especially with the drama. And then the one dislike I have, which really isn't a dislike because it like just comes with the book, is that some parts are like super cliche, like, you know, like just cliche things people would say in like movies about like love and like my heart, butterfly, like, you know, just like cliche things. But I mean, it is like a love story, so what do you expect? And I also like forgot at the end that this book does come with a reader's guide, which is if you like go to a book club or you have your own book club, they give you questions that you could like talk about with your group. So yeah, that's my review. I hope I didn't give away anything in my little summary or in the themes. I don't think I did. But I really, really, really would recommend this book. Like, I'm trying to get my friends to read it. It's such a good book. So I would give it 5 stars. 4, 5. 5 is pretty hard for me to give, but this one was like, if I'm walking and reading, it has me in a chokehold. It has me locked in. I want to know what's going on. I would give it 5 stars. I would also like, I just read the bio of the author, Jane, and she's like, when she isn't writing, she's watching Homecoming for the 100th time, which is actually me, and trying to match Beyonce's vocals to no avail. Like, it's me. It's me. Like, overall, love the book, would recommend. If you've read it, let me know, without really letting me know in the comments. Don't give it away, but let me know what you thought about this book. Would you recommend it? Or let me know if now that I've reviewed it, you are going to read it, you know, because I just convinced you. Seriously though, read it. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your moms, tell your grandma, tell your aunt, tell anyone you can. And I'll be back with the next video. Bye, y'all.